From the field to the studio, your eyes and ears, we bring you the 816 Hour. We're back after a victory Monday today. We needed it. We got it. Chiefs come off a win, 27-17. But first, how are you boys today on this fine Monday afternoon?
Good. Get to sit down and talk Chiefs football. Like you said, victory Monday. Ready to get into it.
It's cold outside. It's only getting colder. I love it. Sweatshirt season is finally here.
Yeah, we're getting, 2 or 3 inches of snow tomorrow? Should be amazing.
Hope we get 2 feet of snow tomorrow.
Carter, I'm not going to be able to get to work.
They'll cancel it.
They'll cancel it. I hope so, man. I hope so. Somebody let Ernie know. But the Chiefs, like I said, they win 27-17. Kind of seemed like a little bit of a weird game in Kansas City, but versus Jacksonville. I felt like, I don't know, kind of felt like it was a little weird. But we can recap it real quick. Interesting. Jacksonville starts off the game with an onside kick. When's the last time you saw a team start the game with an onside kick?
Jacksonville did it against Kansas City in 2018. They were talking.
Ooh, there we go. Bryson with the facts. Always prepared. But I wanted to ask, how do you guys feel about the onside kick to start a game?
I mean, it's a bold move. I mean, you're playing Kansas City. You're not going to win. No, in no way, shape, or form. I think the Jaguars they thought they were going to win that game. I mean, they were just outmatched in every aspect, it felt like. So, I mean, you might as well. You need to get an upper hand against Kansas City to get as many points as you can.
It's like a lot of the teams that play Kansas City go for it on 4th and short. Mm-hmm. So
the recipe is out. To beat Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes has to be on the sidelines, and they just try to do exactly that.
Exactly. No, I like it. I mean, you're 3-6. You play in Arrowhead. To onside kick it, I mean, that takes guts. And they got it, so you can't really say it was a bad decision anyways. Obviously, they didn't get points out of it. But I thought it was interesting. I'll fast forward a little bit. I thought it was interesting that they go for the onside, but they had a couple 4th and shorts, and they just punted it. I feel like if you're going to be aggressive, go all in. I mean, why not?
There's a fine line between being aggressive and just being flat out stupid with play calling key. I mean, that Chargers game last year, you look at it, Brendan Staley was just stupid with going for it on 4th down and that
I'm not saying every 4th down, but it might have been that drive. I don't think it was that drive with the onside, but there was a drive. They had it like midfield, 4th and 2-ish, and they punted it, and it caught me off guard a little bit. I was surprised. I felt like if you're going to go for the onside kick to open the game, you might as well be aggressive. You don't have to go full Brandon Staley where he goes for it every single 4th down. But I liked how Doug Peterson started the game. Obviously, like you said, like Bryson said, Jacksonville knows it's Kansas City. I mean, you know what it takes to beat them. Got to give it your all. But I thought it was a little interesting that they were aggressive, and in some spots they weren't that aggressive. I don't know. I feel like that kind of played a roll into the game. But I wanted to ask you guys, what impressed you most from the Week 10 dub? Anything?
Carter, after you, my guy. Sorry.
Anything.
What impressed me the most was Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy's commitment to running the ball this game. I mean, we had 27 total carries split out. I mean, Mahomes had 7, and this is the first week he wasn't leading the team in rushing yards. So it's great to see Pacheco had 16 carries for 82 yards. But it's great to see them establishing a run game of sorts.
Especially after a game where you throw the ball 70 times. I felt like the Chiefs had to. Like, you know what, Patty? We got you this week. We're going to hand the ball. It was weird to piggyback off of that. Where is Clyde Edwards-Helaire? Are we just done giving Clyde opportunities?
I was going to mention it. 2 weeks ago, you get 16% of snaps, and then you get 4% of snaps. Yesterday, he had, I think it was 4 plays. He was in for 4 plays. It kind of seems like Kansas City's, they know that they missed on the pick. I mean, I'm the biggest Clyde lover. I mean, I have his jersey before he ever played a snap in the NFL. But they look like they benched him yesterday, and then they're kind of fading away from him. I mean, we talked about it before the game. I think Bryson was the one to ask, who do you think will have the most touches this week, or it might have been last week, but Clyde, I mean, you see the big rotation, and Clyde wasn't in there much. I mean, even Jerick McKinnon was questionable to go in the game. And Clyde just couldn't get on the field.
Just seems they're just phasing him out. Whenever he's on the field, it doesn't look like the Chiefs' offense is much better than when Isaiah or Jerick are on the field. So, I mean, might as well see Isaiah's a 6th, 7th round draft pick at a Rutgers. Why not see if he can start a little kickstart in this offense, give him 15, 20 carries. I like that for sure. But
Pacheco's a hard runner.
Oh, 100%.
Downfield.
You say something,
Carter? Yeah.
I've seen a stat that every game Pacheco's gotten double-digit carries, he's had 60+ yards. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Like, stick with Isaiah.
Has he only gotten double-digit carries in 2 games?
I don't know.
I want to say Tampa Bay, and then this past one have been the only ones. But still,
everyone
give him the carries, and the man's going to produce.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. Kansas City forgets to run the ball.
Always.
You have Patrick Mahomes, so I get it. Andy Reid, he can come up with the wildest plays, but you bought into that offensive line for a reason. Run the ball, and with Pacheco, I feel like they do it better. When they run the ball, we like to do some counters or some side to side. It just doesn't really work. But the backs we have weren't made for that. But with Pacheco, I feel like they know that he's this downfield runner, and they just give it to him. And, I mean, the dude will get stopped 2 yards in and then fight his way. Those tree trunk legs will get him 8 yards. So, like y'all are saying, you just got to feed him. It's that simple. Obviously, you got Mahomes, but him throwing 70 pass attempts, that can't happen.
True.
So I like them, kind of committing to the run a little bit. Big topic this week.
Can I say my positive?
My bad. Sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm a terrible host. My bad.
Containing the Chiefs' ability to contain Travis Etienne really stood out to me yesterday. I mean, like Keegan said, he came out with the bold prediction Travis Etienne would have less than 100 total yards, and I mean that's exactly what happened. After Travis Etienne took over this Jacksonville backfield, it's been 20+ carries, 5+ targets, and the man's just getting fed in this offense. The Chiefs absolutely hemmed one of the words on him. Honed? We're not.
I don't
Stop. I'm trying to sneeze and laughing at the
We're
same
not
time.
a logistics podcast. But Travis, like yesterday, 11 carries for 45 yards, 3 receptions for 28 yards. That's the lowest amount he's had since getting that backfield to his own. And with Austin Eckler coming, the Chiefs are playing the Chargers next week. Austin Eckler's that running back, kind of similar to Travis Etienne. He can beat you in the receiving game. He can beat you on the ground. It's going to be something that I hope the Chiefs can carry over into this Chargers game because it's a very big game, which we will talk about in that a little bit. But just seeing the Chiefs' ability, Willie Gay, Nick Bolton, Leo Chenell a little bit, him stepping up late, ability to hone in on this young running back. It was fun to see.
No, I agree. I'm glad that you mentioned the Jaguar or ETN. It was kind of surprised me about how much they didn't feed ETN, but also I liked what T-Law did yesterday. I know Trevor Lawrence, he has his up and downs. He's very inconsistent. He's the number 1 pick, so if he's not playing perfect, he gets the hate. I get it. There's been times he hasn't looked good, but he's looked a lot better this year. And yesterday, going into Arrowhead, I'm thinking, Trevor Lawrence is going to make mistakes. He's going to have, they get in the red zone. I'm like, there's a reason the Jaguars are 3-6. They turned the ball over. T-Law played, didn't turn the ball over. He threw 259, 2 touchdowns, very solid game versus Kansas City defense. Also, though, Christian Kirk had himself a day, and it's sad to say because L'Jarius Sneed, it was a rough one for us.
It's all right.
Sneed got burnt twice on those tutties. He got burned.
Nobody can be perfect.
Exactly.
For 17 weeks. It's okay. It's all right.
I'm glad you guys said that. I was going to say.
We got a team.
I've seen before people, we know how, I know Carter's not a big social media guy, but I know Bryce knows, and I know the listeners know how Chiefs Twitter can get. And I've seen that people say that even before yesterday, that Snead isn't the talk that people say he is.
What?
I just don't understand it. If he's not playing perfect, he's not him.
Hey,
and you saw him on the screen a lot yesterday because he's getting burnt. He's getting the TV screen time. But when people don't realize, like with McDuffie, if you're not getting targeted, it's because you're a lockdown corner. Kirk's, we talked about it. He got paid all that money and he's deserving it. So, I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up because I knew Bryson would get a laugh at Snead being overrated.
Chiefs Twitter is something that is just something. No. The Chiefs should have traded Rashard Legarius instead of Fenton for that conditional 7th round pick. I mean, like, what? Like
people weren't on. It's because Snead had that awesome rookie year, and he's kind of been right there. I'm not saying he's like, oh, I'm not the same guy anymore. That rookie.
He definitely hasn't played to that same standard, but that's the standard he was playing at.
Exactly. So everyone thinks, if you're not getting better, then he's just, kind of like what people say with Nick Bolton. They say that Chiefs fans, some people think, he's the next Ray Lewis, and then some people think he's a bust. Not a bust, but
Time out. You've never seen anyone call Nick Bolton a bust.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Come on, Keith. What? What are we doing?
I missaid it. That's what I meant to say. Not a bust, but he's bad in coverage. He's not a greatest.
But that's stuff the Chiefs knew coming into drafting Nick Bolton. That was his biggest flaw, was his ability to cover in pass coverage. You didn't draft Nick Bolton to cover Travis Etienne and Austin Eckler out of the backfield. You drafted him to get tackles, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Thank you. I know we talk a lot, so I won't go too much more into it, but Bolton, you knew he wasn't great in coverage, 2nd year in the league. Also, he made a few plays in coverage yesterday, so I will say that. I saw, you missed some things because they're not on TV, but I saw a few tweets from some reporters saying Bolton had some guys locked down in coverage that kind of, shook T-Law. But we won't talk too much more now about Nick Bolton. I could go on all day about what people say or whatnot. But I shared this tweet with Bryson. I know I'm keeping it Twitter, but we got to keep things interesting, right? On a scale from Bryson answered this for me, but you can answer for the podcast. On a scale from 0 to 10, how worried are you about Harrison Butker?
0.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank
0.
you.
Negative 12.
Thank you, Carter. Gosh. Go sign. Go let the Chiefs cut Harrison Butker. Let them go sign a free agent kicker and see how bad he does. Look, what did Matt Amendola do?
Lost the job in a week.
And then he goes to Arizona, misses a game-winning kick there. Harrison Butker has I don't even want to get into it. What? Harrison?
I know. That's why I had to bring it up, because I knew Bryson would get riled up, because
it's the what have you done for me lately league, and I hate it. It
is, especially with Chiefs fans. I mean, I've been there, I probably hate too much than I should, but it's insane with, like you said, we've been through 3 kickers this season because of Butker's.
Four.
Come
on, Keith. Don't forget Justin Reed.
He's a kicker.
Fair. He was.
Safeties are kickers too.
But I meant to say, Matthew Wright hit that franchise record for Kansas City, and I meant to ask you guys if you saw his game versus oh my goodness, the Saints yesterday. He was on the Steelers this week.
Mm-hmm.
He missed a 39-yarder that was the wildest kick. It literally, I don't even know how to explain it. It was just such a knuckleball. It wasn't even close. It just faded way to the left.
Mm.
And then he missed a 41-yarder. He just didn't have it. And like Bryson said, you go sign a free agent kicker, that's what you're going to get. And I get it, Harrison misses the 48-yarder. He missed the PAT, was it last year? He was close to setting the record for missed PATs or something like that, PATs in my mind, in the playoffs, it's something different. I don't want him to miss the PAT, but if he misses it, I'm not freaking out, to an extent, if it's late in the game, make the PAT, Harrison.
Okay. Time out. Real quick. Keeg, do you ever sit there in watching the game? Harrison's about to kick an extra point. Everyone's got to be careful. Let's watch the game real quick. Like, do you ever feel that?
I was about to say that. Bryson told me that when your kicker goes up for the game winner, just any field goal, I feel like any fan, your heart's racing a little bit. Bryson told me, nah, that doesn't happen. It's automatic.
It's Harrison Butker.
People forget he kicked that game tying field goal against the Bills in the divisional round last year.
That's what I'm saying. He may be going through it right now. Also, he had an injury, and I think he said it last week. He's not fully healed. It's on his planting leg, and he says it's kind of messing him up a little bit. But with the way Chiefs fans are talking, are you going to cut a kicker right now and hope a good kicker helps you in the playoffs? What are we doing? But also I think I told Bryson that if you cut Butker next year, it's save $4.5 million or something. People are all for cutting Butker, but then you cut Butker and you go get. There are not many top tier kickers in the league. You
have a top 3 kicker in the NFL, and you're going to cut him. No. There's no way.
Well, people want to play that card that kickers are important, so just cut him. Why is he making that much? But also, the game's on the line. You need a top 2 kicker there.
I'm gonna say when you get a 56-yard field goal attempt, or you got to hit a 48-yarder against the Chargers, and they call 2 timeouts, and you got to kick 3 different ones, puts all 3 in. It's a lot better when you got Harrison Butker compared to, no disrespect, but I would be okay with Carter Webb going out there kicking a couple field goals for the Chiefs.
Hey, I love it because every single time
where's my call?
This field goal by the Chiefs, I text the group chat. I'm like, Carter, get that leg warmed. We need you out there. Get a plane ticket to Arrowhead ASAP. You need to get up there.
Yo, so real quick, jumping. We got biggest negatives. Or was that another thing you got on your list?
I was going to bring something.
I was going to say my biggest negative is the Chiefs special teams. No, and it's not as I'm not very concerned about it or anything. And it's nothing to do with Harrison Butker. Just since we were on the special teams topic, I might as well bring this up. The onside kick in the first play, obviously it happens. I don't think anyone in that stadium was ready for the Jaguars to come out and kick an onside kick. But Jody Fortson, no disrespect. Jody, I love you. Jody, I think the world of you, buddy. What are we doing? What are we doing? You're trying to show off like we're Devin Hester out here. You're a tight end. Go down, man. Jaguars, he fumbles the ball. Jaguars get it back, get a chance to go put 3 on the board. You can't have that happen. Against Buffalo in a divisional round game or championship round game against Baltimore, whatever, you can't fumble kickoff opportunities.
No, yeah. Special teams, it's been a little bit of a headache this year. Like you said, the onside kick, not worried about that. That's not what I'm mad about. But I think the special teams had 2 turnovers yesterday. Special teams it's been a little rocky this year, and with a guy like Dave Tobe leading the way, usually don't see that. But you've had Sky Moore back there, a rookie, and he dropped he muffed 2 or 3 punts. So you could kind of pin it on him, but there's been times, the Chiefs special teams it's been a little rocky. So I can definitely read you there. Like you said, not something I'm worried about, but definitely something to keep an eye on. Carter, did you have a negative? Because I had.
I was going to talk about the Chiefs getting buttered up gloves on the field. They fumbled 3 times yesterday and lost 2 of them. But that was my one negative. Another one I could think of is just off the top of my head, their ability to contain and scrambling quarterbacks. I feel like that's kind of up in the air, sort of, but I'm not entirely worried about that. There's not a whole lot of mobile quarterbacks that are just going to run all over us. So
turnovers as a whole is something that not worried about, but it's something to think about because, like Carter just said, you lose 2 fumbles. You fumbled it 3 times. You lose 2 of them. Mahomes throws that 4th quarter interception. Yes, it wasn't game on the line or anything. And he even said in his press game, they were like, what do you got to do to get better? And he said, stop throwing stupid 4th quarter interceptions. Something to think about.
No, yeah, I totally agree. He definitely forced that pass right there. Looked like he was getting a little too cocky. And
no. That was reminiscence of MVP Pat Mahomes flushing out of the pocket, rolling out. Watching that play, and I know this sounds super weird, that might be one of my favorite plays of Patrick Mahomes this year. Just watching him run and dance out of that pocket, making defenders miss. It's like, gosh, this reminds me of MVP Pat against the 49ers. Was it 2019?
Yeah.
I love it.
2019, yeah, around there. It might have been 2018. It might have been the year he first started. Yeah, I think it was, because I think that was the play. I'm like, yeah, this guy's him. No, it's funny because every time you see, obviously he has his pocket awareness, or just whatever you want to call it, just what he can do just to escape that and make something happen. It's wild because you kind of see him run around for 5 seconds, and I'm just sitting there watching my TV, and I'm like, it's wild because no other QB, like you're thinking, oh, what are you doing? Like, but with Mahomes, I'm like, oh, he's going to make something happen. Like, I'm ready for a touchdown on this play. I mean, what was it versus the Buccaneers? I want to say he kind of scrambled around and he kept like going towards the end zone, and then he just threw the jump pass to. Oh yeah, I can't remember to who now, but I don't know who it was to.
I want to say Jody. That sounds right, but
I was gonna say Jody too, so we're gonna go with Jody Fortson. But it's just wild for. I mean, it's another MVP pass season. I mean, it's simple as that.
That brings me to my next point. Is Patrick Mahomes the clear-cut front runner for this MVP race?
It's his to lose. After Josh Allen yesterday, I don't think it takes like Josh Allen totally.
Is there just one MVP?
Yes.
Carter's stuck in baseball.
I think he's one or two.
I'd say top 3 right now, or top 4 probably. Jalen. You got Mahomes, Allen, and then you could put the Tua, Tyreek, either of those. But after Tyreek's 44 yards yesterday, I don't think he's – unless he goes off for like 200-300 yards. And it's kind of a quarterback's award.
Jeff, is he in that conversation?
I wish. After the game he had yesterday, he should be, but
insane. He's different.
But boys, who'd you have as your player of the game?
Hey, man, I had something to bring up.
Oh, sorry. Can you quit?
No, it's okay. It's okay. I was going to ask how we felt about the Jaguars playing a little dirty.
Is it – okay, let's be – was it dirty? Were they
into rough football?
In the game, while it's happening, it looks bad. It's like, what is Andrew Cisco doing head hunting? But in the second hit he had on, was it MVS?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That one wasn't a dirty hit. The Juju one, I agree wholeheartedly. I thought that was helmet to helmet. I thought the flag should have been called. Thought he should have gotten ejected. Bang, bang play. I guess it happens, but in the same aspect, that's something that the NFL is just trying to get out of the league. So it is rough to see, but I can't say they were playing dirty or anything.
No, I got you. No, I did want to hit on that because the first play on Juju, I'm actually a little surprised you said that. It's you can't slow it down, whatever. So it's helmet to helmet. It's obvious, but I'm more upset that they picked up the flag. I mean, the flag, the rule is there for a reason. And I mean, you saw Juju laying there like you saw Tua did. I mean, he was just stuck there for a second. And I mean, if you're trying to make the game safer and you're just picking up a flag like that was clear helmet to helmet. I mean, it's a little rough, but
it's a bang bang play though.
I was kind of upset on the MBS one because he didn't hit him or whatever. I know MBS was a little shooken up. It wasn't as bad the Juju one, but MBS is going up, and to me it looked like Cisco brought his head with him to target his head, like jumped up with him instead of just tackling him. Like he went up with him, like head hunting. And maybe I'm a little biased, but that's what it looked like. He jumped up towards him, like going like this to hit MBS, and I feel like you should just easily, just go at him. Obviously, I'm not a football player, so I can say the simple stuff, but I don't know, it just made me upset that, that's why wide receiver 1 out there. Can we protect the man? I mean, but hope the best for Juju. I saw that his girl said after the game that they're doing fine. Hopefully he's back versus the Chargers. Carter, did you feel like the Jags play a little dirty, or do you think it's just kind of the pace of play? It's a little both.
I think teams are kind of moving towards that when they play the Chiefs. You got to play rough to beat the Chiefs, kind of beat the Chiefs down, especially after that Titans game. But I mean, the Titans have played the Chiefs twice like that now in the last 2 seasons. So,
no, yeah, you got to play physical if you're the Chiefs. You got
to play hard and rough against the Chiefs to beat them.
Yeah, you got to wear them down and just hope they're gassed by the fourth quarter. That's how you beat them. So I can totally agree there, but I just want to know your guys' opinions because that was definitely the talk of Twitter yesterday, or talk of whatever you want to say. It was a big deal. But we can hop into player of the game. Who wants to go first?
I had the offensive line as a whole. I thought they played phenomenal. They gave up 4 sacks to Tennessee. And in this Jacksonville game, it's like, Jacksonville, they come into this game getting about 1.6, almost 2 sacks a game. They had a game where they had 5 sacks this season. 2 sacks against Denver 2 weeks ago, and then 2 sacks against the Raiders last week. And I was just like, the Chiefs offensive line, they could give up some pressure. Mahomes could be running for his life a lot of this game. And it could end up being a close game just with how athletic their front seven is and how good they are as a whole defensively, honestly. The Chiefs gave up 0 sacks. And boys, the Chiefs, I don't know if you realize this, the Chiefs had 0 penalties yesterday. Chiefs played a clean game of football, not a single piece of laundry left on the field. And that's just something good to see going into this Chargers game, like I talked about in the positive takeaway. But just seeing that the Chiefs offensive line, I know there's been questions in the past that right tackle spot with Andrew Wiley, and then Orlando Brown's had questions throughout the season. Is he really that top tackle that the Chiefs traded for? Looked good yesterday.
Wiley got hurt too.
Mm-hmm.
So, you bring in a second string tackle, and this team doesn't have much offensive line depth, and still give 0 sacks. I love that you brought that up because I feel like I'm a guy that watches that offensive line, making sure my QB doesn't get hit. Did a great job of containing them yesterday, so I love that. What about you, Carter? You got a player of the game, or
my player of the game was Kadarius Toney. He caught 4 of his 5 targets for 57 yards and a touchdown with a long of 23 yards. I think he had a great game. I think it was kind of his breakout game.
His homecoming in Kansas City.
Say, hey, league, I'm here. I'm here to shine.
Carter, have you seen the video of him, Keeg? I know you have, but adjusting his gloves before he goes up and makes that? Oh my!
I just saw that.
Oh my! And then the little hop. Yeah. Oh, New York. You said, "Oh no, I'm fine. I'm with Patrick Mahomes now." Keeg a little salty because you took his player of the game.
I just threw my notes, Carter.
A little salty.
I called him having 60 reception yards, and then you say here, and you're gonna take my player of the game?
I am. There's a lot of players.
You make a lot of takes, buddy. Let's calm down. You make a lot of takes.
You got to shoot your shot. So I want to be right. I just I want to feel good.
You shoot enough shots to eventually hit one of them. So
Carter gets it. Thank you.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly. If I'm giving 10 hot takes and 2 of them hit, I want the credit. But we won't have to. We don't get to talk about the 8 I missed. But yeah, KT, awesome. I mean, like we talked about, I said he was going to have 60 yards or whatever. I honestly didn't think he was going to be as much as in the offense as he was. Even with McCole out, they just fed him, and I love it. They said to even expect more after this week. Just keep ramping him up. He was back there returning punts. Obviously didn't return nothing or something, but when he's back there, I feel like I hate saying this. I'm not comparing him, but when Tyreek's back there, you're like, he can do something with it. When you have a great returner, Toney, you're like, he can do something with it. I'm not comparing him.
Tyreek's gone, Keegan. Get over it. Accept it. I'm
over it, bro. Because
if anything, he's a better returner than Tyreek Hill because Kadarius Toney doesn't run backwards 10 yards before he takes off and tries to run for you.
What are these takes I'm hearing?
Okay, Tyreek's fast enough.
Hot
He
take.
can do that. So
What are these takes I'm hearing?
we're getting mixed up
What?
Tyreek with Demarcus Robinson running backwards.
Oh my. Boys, real quick, that Buffalo game I just want to talk about real quick. The Chiefs are the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Numero uno.
Real quick. I just want to look both of you in your eyes and say I did not jinx that Buffalo game, and both of you have to sit there and deal with it. Watching Buffalo crumble after getting Kansas City that dub. That number 1 seed is now Kansas City's to lose. They hold the sole possession. The AFC continues to run through Arrowhead. I love it. I love it.
That's funny. I just forgot till just now, but I thought it was funny when the Chiefs won the toss and then elect to receive. I thought that's a little weird. And then I text the group chat. And I'm like, they want blood. And then they get the onside kick. And I was like, all right, I'll talk to you boys.
Like, why are we texting, Keegan? What are you doing? We're all watching this. I was like, what? And then you want to get on me about the Buffalo game. I was like, what is this guy?
I gotta give. Hey, I'm always getting hated on, so I gotta give it back.
Imagine.
You were close to jinxing it. That game was insane. I mean,
wasn't close at all. Justin Jefferson, wide receiver 1. He's that guy.
He is that guy.
Chiefs next week. Going to LA. Game was flexed to prime time. Playing in SoFi Stadium. Justin Herbert. There's talks. Mike Williams. He was on the field last night versus San Francisco. Stretching out. Looked good. There's talks that he might be coming back after that high ankle sprain. I don't think Keenan Allen's set to suit up or anything. But how do you guys feel going into that game versus the Chargers? Real quick, I want to mention the Chiefs win this game. They clinch the division.
Wow.
The Chiefs win. I know Keegan's trying to think in his head that I'm wrong and try to call me out, but the Chiefs clinched the division with a win on Sunday.
11, they can clinch. Wow. I'm not worried whatsoever. The Chargers defense has been
He was thinking of any loophole to call me out.
Well, I'm just confused. I'm not trying to call you. I'm just confused because if they win, that's a 3-game lead. And I get you get the tiebreaker over the Chargers, but won't there be like 6 games left?
What? You play a total of 6 AFC West games a year, Keegan?
I'm talking about in general.
I'm confused with the question. I won't lie to you.
It's the math.
We're going into week 11, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Keegan, all I know is that with the win on Sunday, they clinched the division, man. I'm not.
I didn't know that. I haven't heard that yet. I didn't know that they had like officially clinched it. I didn't know that was possible yet. So I'm just.
I'm saying it, guy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not believing you. I guess.
But Carter, how do you feel, buddy?
Not worried. Not worried. The Chargers defense has been rough. The nicest way to say it, I guess, has been rough this season. They're meant to be a great defense, and they just haven't shown it this year. I think the Kansas City offense is finally starting to click, and the chemistry is at an all-time high. So I think it's only going to get better from here, especially with a postseason spot on the line this week. I think they're going to go extra hard. So,
I love it. Keek, how do you feel, buddy?
Confident.
Oh, he got all quiet on me. Come on, Keek. Don't get like that.
Sorry, I'm not. It's nothing.
Get like that.
You're doing the math in my head.
I
haven't heard anything about it. Why?
But I mean, like we mentioned, Chargers a little banged up offensively, defensively, haven't looked that good. I know this coming into the year was supposed to be the Chargers. Chargers are supposed to run this division. Justin Herbert's going to take another step. Is what it is. Patrick Mahomes owns this division. I absolutely love it. I'm feeling good going into this LA game. I won't lie.
Mm-hmm.
Chad keeps calling me.
Uh-oh. But boys, we got anything else? Anyone else got anything?
No, sir.
Carter on the clip.
Hit us up on the TikTok, the Twitter, the Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Amazon, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts.
And you always bring up a new thing every time. This time it was Amazon. And
Tumblr, is that a thing?
How do you come up with if you're going to go singular or plural on the
It's on the fly, you know.
I love it.
On the
I love
fly.
it. Big Cartel / the 816 hour. Get your merch. Get your merch. Obviously, Grim Reaper shirts aren't available anymore. Maybe drop them come postseason. Who knows? Maybe just a limited drop. But getting those back soon. Hopefully get those shipped out by the end of the week. So get those to you guys. But yeah, like Carter said, hit us up on all of our socials. Like, comment, rate 5 stars, share with a friend. But boys, got anything else?
No, sir.
We out?
Peace.
Peace.